on the 20 championships, 3,000 meters steeplechase. He has a personal best of 8 minutes 12 seconds. I didn't mention that for Simon. That's another great athlete who might just be the one to do it. He's got a best time of 8 minutes 0.4 seconds. And that's a man who will be looking forward to doing it. And Algerian is also not left out of this. He's been doing this over and over. He's also a specialist in the steeplechase. I was talking about Boachicha. He did it at the 2016 Olympics. Yeah, didn't come out with any medals, but he won the Arab Games last year with a time of 8 minutes 24 seconds. So these are some of the 3 top names that we have that might be coming out tops, unless there is a change from what some of the new athletes from this different military personnel or different nations will be coming out with.
Triple jump men. The out of women was done yesterday. The men are fighting for medals now.
The outlets getting ready to take their position.
Still talking about some of these great athletes. Another Algerian, Tabti Bilal, is one name we're looking for. He has a personal best of 8 minutes 22 seconds. He did it at the Mediterranean Games in Oran, Algeria. He came out tops with the gold medal for that one. And he is also to be looked at. So it's going to be a battle between the 2 Algerians to maybe nick third if what we have right here on paper will be enough to judge. Talking about Tabiti Hilal and his countryman Boachicha Hicham. I just love what I have right here, and I love the fact that top names are coming here, and if you're not part of this or you choose not to view these games, then you'll be missing a lot. An opportunity to witness them live on the stadium for free, so that when you see them on the screen, you say, oh, I met with this guy. I even had the opportunity of shaking hands with him. Yeah, he might not put money in your pocket, but that joy that you met some of these top athletes. That's why we'll always implore you to rush down to the MKO Abiola Stadium in Abuja right here to enjoy the game if you know you stay very much around for free.
143, Corporal Wesley Lagat, Kenya. 50, Private Pam Lucky, Nigeria. And last but not the least, 172, Malusi Mugusi Oloma of Republic of South Africa.
D'un moment à l'autre, nous allons assister à la compétition du triple saut homme de 3000 mètres. Restez en garde, merci.
Like the women, each of them will go around 7.5 laps to cover the distance of 3,000 meters steeplechase.
Comme les femmes l'ont fait, tout le monde va faire le tour pendant 7 fois et demi pour couvrir les 3000 mètres. Merci.
That is the commencement of hostilities in the 3,000 meter steeplechase men final featuring the men. The women have concluded theirs. Now we're having the men now. 3,000 meters
The 9 athletes on the way for the steeplechase main event final from the main bowl of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium. Still early days for the men's event. Still early days in the race, but the Algerians are in the lead. I mean, you can't write them off. Just as I mentioned, Algeria's been the lead. The Kenyan is striding forward.
That's just what makes it interesting. Before you take your eyes off for some seconds, you're seeing a new athlete coming forward. And you can see what the Kenyan is doing. It might look early, the Nigerians, one trying to catch up, the other lagging behind. As I said, it's not a thing that we know with Nigerians so many times.
The 3,000 meters steeplechase men's final going on in the main bowl of the Moshood Abiola Stadium here in Abuja. And of course, that tells you that the athletics events for this evening have begun in earnest. We have joining us in the studio now our analyst. We told you she will be joining us this evening. Mary Onyali is here, member of the Federal Republic and Olympic bronze medalist, Barcelona 92 and of course Atlanta 1996 in both the 4x100 meters event and the 200 meters event. Mary is here. Good evening, Mary. Thank you for joining us again.
Good evening. Happy to be here once more.
We're here to look at the athletics and the analysis and perhaps learn more from you, as always. Thank you for coming.
Always willing.
Yeah, we saw the 3,000 steeplechase women's final. And Ethiopia, again, took the gold.
Silver.
Gold and silver.
Gold and silver, yes.
It's usual. It's normal. It's expected. When it comes to the middle and long distance, as far as the AMGA games this year is concerned, it's obvious that anything from 400 and marathon, the race is a two-horse race between the Kenyans and the Ethiopians. And that's exactly what we're seeing. So, and if you looking at the men's 3,000 steeplechase right now, it's the same thing that is about to happen. But there's a Uganda in the mix. Who knows? He might just give them a surprise, but it will be a tough one.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the fact that in this race there are 3 Ethiopians.
Yes. You are entitled to 3 entries. Every nation is entitled to 3 entries. Yeah, so it's your choice. 2, 3, 1.
You've always talked about teamwork among athletes who run these middle to long distance races. Are we likely to see something like that from the Ethiopians and of course the Algerians? Algeria has 2 entries like Nigeria, but Ethiopia has 3.
There's always collaboration with each nation coming into middle and long distance races. From their home, they already know who is the strongest, the second, and the third. So in order for, and when the race begins, you know, anything can happen in the middle of the race. I may be the fastest, and the other 2 are second and third. But during the race, something may happen to me. I may run out of breath or start having a cramp in my stomach or my legs or any part of my body. And you see, most of the time, they speak to each other when they are running. If there are 3 nations back to back, they talk to each other. So if I'm having an issue and I'm the fastest, I will whisper to the person behind, you know, issue. Or what, I don't know the signal they usually give each other, but I know they do talk to each other, and whoever is in the back or whoever is the strongest will move to the front, and I will pull back. So instead of me being stubbornly going on and knowing fully well that I'm not going to be able to finish strongly and get that gold medal that is desired, I'd rather drop back and let my country person take over and get the gold in place of me. So it's a tactic that has always worked over the years. Yeah.
Okay, looking at the race going on now, the Ugandan seems to have picked up.
Over.
You actually put him in the mix, even though he's all by himself, but he's in second place now, and the Kenyan are taking the lead in that race. And it looks like the pace is fairly good.
He was, the way he talked behind the Ethiopians and the Kenyans, You know, I mentioned Ethiopia, Kenya, but there's a Uganda in the mix, and he may just spoil the party because he was comfortably, you know, pacing them and watching who is making moves. Right, I think they're the top two runners right now, and he's tucked comfortably behind the Kenyan. So, which means he's probably has more in his tank than the Kenyan, waiting for the last lap before he makes his final kick.
I just noticed something he did now. The Ugandan,
Okay.
going over the steeple into the water, he jumped over the water completely,
Yeah.
Which means
which gave him
Has strength.
the further away from the water you land, the more advantage you have. Because actually the water will slow you down. That's one, and you're behind. So if you can clear the water completely, more advantage to you. He's really, he's really sticking to the Kenyan, just stride by stride.
Pacing
It's
him
going to
out.
be interesting. The Kenyan may realize that he's there because they can
Yeah, we
see
can
the
see that.
scoreboard.
We're even seeing that he's still turning back to look behind him to see.
I don't know if the race is live on the stadium
do that again.
scoreboard. They may be watching to see where their positions are on the scoreboard too. So they are aware. And then they have marksmen or coaches or...
See, he avoided the water
Done
again.
The thing, same thing again.
He leapt over the water completely again. And he has an advantage here. Obviously, what I'm saying, Mary, I don't know if you are seeing what I'm seeing, but I'm sure you will see it. It appears that the Ugandan is a lot stronger than even the Kenyan right in front of him. And he's just pacing himself, waiting patiently.
That's what we see. And he looks fresh. He looks comfortable and fresh, but wait for the last lap. That's where
That's the bell lap now.
That's the bell
This
lap.
is the bell lap now.
See? The Kenya is gone. So he knew he was behind him. He was just waiting for the last lap to make his move.
This is
So let's see
He
how it
knew
goes.
exactly when to kick. And he did it at the right time. The race is over.
Okay. Let's take you to the stadium now to see how this race ends and, of course, to get the ambience, because definitely the crowd must be cheering these runners on at this point. We'll come back and talk some more about it when the race ends.
He's nearly there now. Simon Kurtz looks to his side. He can see no opposition as he makes way to the finish line, the Kenyan. Oh, what a race. What a race for Simon Kurtz. And it is the Ugandan who would finish as the silver medalist, Chemutai Leonard, and the Algerian, as he drops to the turf after exerting so much energy, who will finish with the bronze medal. So Kenyan, a Ugandan, and an Algerian. No Ethiopians, or no Ethiopian in the top three.
A huge surprise, I must tell you. Samuel Duguna had the second personal best after Simon Koch. His personal best, the winner, was 8.04 seconds. Now he's done it in 8 minutes. No, 8 minutes, 4 seconds. Now he's done it in 8 minutes, 36 seconds. For the man who came second, he had a personal best of 8 minutes, 17 seconds, but lost it. And now the Algerian has come out third. Also a very experienced athlete, not one of the top two, and that's none other than Tauti Bilal. I spoke a lot about him earlier. He's got the experience, and you could see him show it right there at the steeplechase race. I told you he won the Mediterranean Games with a time of 8 minutes, 22 seconds. But him doing it this time around is really beautiful amongst the top three.
Simon Kurtz, the Kenyan, has finished with the silver medal for the 3,000 meter steeplechase for men, hoisting his flag with so much pride. So it is an Ethiopian for the women 3,000 meter steeplechase, and a Kenyan for the men 3,000 meter steeplechase. What a race! Once again, the Ethiopians and the Kenyans starting the day on top as far as medals are concerned for this day 5 event of the athletics. Right here from the Moshood Abiola National Stadium. Once again, taking you through the all outlets. Not surprising, it is the steeplechase. You've still got a lot of distance to run.
Why did they have?
All right, you're watching the replay of the 3,000 meters steeplechase men's final, and the Kenyan Simon Koch finishing strongly there, pulling away in the final 400 meters from the Ugandan who had actually been tailing him. Chemutai Leonard had been tailing him, and he pulled away completely to take that race. Yeah, Mary, we were talking about these two gentlemen, the Ugandan, and the probability that he had something up his sleeve, but the Kenyan seemed to have been alive to that possibility, and he pulled away completely.
We were thinking the Ugandan was saving some energy somewhere to kick at the maybe last 2 laps or the final at the bell lap, but not knowing that the Kenyan also was having his own joker under his sleeves. So at the end of the day, they both outkicked each other, but the best kicker won.
Mm-hmm. So now the 3,000 meters steeplechase, women and men, the women have taken the gold in the women's event went to Ethiopia, and the gold in the men's event went to Kenya.
Even split.
Mm-hmm.
We said it. It's either Ethiopia or Kenya.
And in those 2 races, the Nigerians were not there.
They're not.
They didn't come to the party at all.
I try not to talk about that. We've cried too much about Nigerians when it comes to the athletics part of this game, so we just have to have fun, see what take it the way it is.
Oh, well, precisely about the medal table. Looking at the medal table, the Ethiopians are coming up. The Kenyans are picking up medals as well. And you do see them maintaining their 3rd position on the table now, because it has gone past them displacing the Algerians. Do you see the Kenyans with what they've acquired in the athletics event, sustaining their 3rd place on the medal table, being the defending champion of this championship?
It looks, from the look of things, it looks like we're going to end the games the way it is. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, because I don't see Algeria
giving it down,
giving Nigeria any sweat, and the Kenyans are comfortably placed where they are, between 12 medals and 4 medals. It's too, the distance is just way too much. So I believe we're going to end up in this position.
Right.
Okay, Mary, let me ask you to hold on. Swore Chappelle is in the stadium speaking to the winner of the 3,000 meters steeplechase women. That's Awekuha Getachew Emmanuel.
Thank you very much. As it was in the previous, as I made in Oregon World Championship, our people is waiting us with victory, like I made today in the steeple 3,000 steeple woman. So that makes me very, happy, accomplishing the mission that's given from Ethiopia. That's I'm very glad.
I mean, what did you have to do different? Because I noticed when you were making your runs, even with the bends, when you had to do the jumps, you paced yourself. It was like very calculated, and you had such a flourish of a finish, very calm, and it looked like a stroll. Walk us through your strategy for preparation this time.
It is a matter of, calculation and the confidence, right? When you know just everything about steeplechase or the event that you make, that you know how to run and how to save energies for the final sprint, right? So I was calculated, and I was looking those people who were competing with me, right? And I was deciding what technique would be the best way to win the gold. So I was, that was my strategy, and that makes me different, right? When it's steeplechase, I ran many times, right? I have a lot of experience, more than I think the rest of my competitors.
I mean, what do you have to say to the people of Ethiopia who have not gotten to see you do a lot on the tracks, especially in this side of the world, and seeing you being a champion in the way that you are, executing the way that you did? Like, what kind of confidence are you going to give to them moving into the new season for athletics?
Okay, as you know that in Ethiopia, Ethiopia is known with history. In Africa, this is African military game, right? Yeah, Bikila also the first African man, and there are Tutulu too, right? So we are a historious nation in Africa. We are independent nation in Africa, not colonized by other Africans. We don't want to be defeated, right? So when you come here we not come here to participate, right? We come here to win or to achieve or to make history. So today I make that history. That's part of that history in the second in second African Championship. Doing this history is for me this great idea. I mean this great opportunity to remember us in Ethiopians people. So I have great message for them. Achieved the mission that's given from you. So today I'm happy. I hope you're also so happy.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much and congratulations. History is being written and being set up again for Team Ethiopia. This is the Ethiopian champion. I'm throwing it back again into the tracks where we see a new champion on these tracks for the male steeplechase. She's done it for Team Ethiopia. And that's it. We'll be back at you. We'll be back at you. Over to the commentators. Boko.
Thank you very much, Sua Chappelle there, talking to the winner of the 3,000 meters steeplechase women final. That's the Ethiopian Weku Hagetachi World Emmanuel. And Mary, listening to Getachew, she talked about having raced in the Oregon World Championships. And I recall that over the course of the last 2-3 days, you've talked to us about the fact that these athletes are military personnel, but they go for international meets, and that's their primary assignment. And she's just confirmed it.
The Kenyans, the Ethiopians, and the Algerians. These three nations are very highly recruited in their militaries, especially the army. I know the Kenyans for sure because I raced with majority of them during my time, and it got even better. I'm not surprised. The athletics, I think because the Kenyans and the Ethiopians are very strong in athletics, that's probably why their military recruits is pretty high. Yeah. In Nigeria, is the reverse. It's the civil defense that is more, and police that is more in athletics recruitment.
Well, I think I give it up for the Ethiopians. That's what happens when you have a structure, like a standard structure. The results don't lie, the numbers don't lie. When you have a structure that works, you definitely have results that it's pleasant. So I think for the track and field, it's something we're going to leave it out for them. Maybe in the coming future, it's to just be the Ethiopians and the Kenyans. Come and compete. Let's see the best. And the rest, just watch and see.
But we can come in.
Okay.
We can come in
Hopefully.
if we decide.
All right,
if we
that's
decide
the
to
right
take it
choice
up,
of word.
we'll take the sprints and the jumps, which are our areas of strength, and leave the middle and the long to them as usual.
Okay, what you're watching now is, of course, we also know that we have the long jump men's final. That's a triple jump, actually, that's going on. Yeah. The triple jump men's final is also going on at the moment. We also expect the women's 200 and the men's 200 finals this evening. And of course, we did tell you earlier, the countries competing here: Algeria, Burkina Faso, Cape Verde, Ethiopia, Kenya, Ghana, Republic of Congo, that's Congo-Brazzaville, Libya, Nigeria, the hosts, Senegal, South Africa, Tanzania, and Uganda. All right, member of the Abuja National Stadium, that's the MKO Stadium in Abuja, where the athletics event is going on. Now, Mary, I don't know, the women's 200 meters, that's your bread and butter. It's coming up. The way you smiled when I talked about the women's 200 meters.
Every time.
The way she smiles, you can see the excitement is still there.
You can tell. I mean, this is something I've done since I was age 6. It's in my DNA. Just hearing the word 200 meters excites me. Even in my dream, I can still run it.
Okay, in your dream. Okay, you said it. But I believe if I get on the track with you, you'll be better than me. even now? The way you get excited about it?
I'll try. You know, there's always two places you can come first, front or the back.
Okay, that is interesting. That is
Come from
interesting.
behind.
So it depends on how you look at it. She could be the winner from
Either
the
way,
back, or
you're first,
in
either
front.
way.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. What do you expect to see today in the 200 meters, both men and women?
Men, I may be able to predict when I see the lineup, but the women's, I can't really, because there was no heats. There was no rounds for me to see how they fared before coming into the final. So I believe the women is a straight final. But let's just wait and see. It's one of those tactical races that is, like I said before, you can't run it too fast and you can't run it too slow. So